Hi, I'm Kevin Tame, and welcome to The Hacktivist. Today I'm playing the Core 2.0 only Chaos Theory deck, and I'm playing it against Core only 2.0 Building a Better World. So let's jump right in. So in this match I see that I'm playing Building a Better World, so I want to make sure that I can get my Mopus, and you really want to have a credit advantage against them. And so I mulliganed and I didn't see a Mopus, so my goal here is to just draw up, get a little bit of econ. It's a little bit of an awkward hand, and I just am taking my money. And then I'm not going to be using this notoriety because my plan is just to steal a 3-pointer and 2-pointers. So it's not my most important piece right now. So I'm not sure exactly what this is, but I want to go in and trash it. And I put out this crash space because crash space is really good against punitive. It helps protect you, so it's not as easy for them to kill you when you steal big agendas. So this is kind of a weak play to get out the Dinosaurus, but it's what I got, and it's an efficient way to use my cards in my hand by using modded and then get it out. It only cost me 2, but I really need to find Mopus because otherwise I'm gonna have a real trouble. So what I'm tempted to do here is just use a test run to bring it out, and so I plan on doing that next turn. I'm kind of trying to figure out like what I can get rid of, what's actually going to help me this turn, and I can still afford to put the battering ram on here. I think this is probably a mistake to put this on here. I actually don't like putting battering ram on the Dinosaurus. I think it's better to put Fem on there because it's so easy to boost the strength of battering ram, and it's hard to boost the strength of Fem. So yeah, I'm just going to test run it, just get it out so that I can get a few credits here, and then next turn be able to mod it out and gain more credits. So my opponent here is really turtled up quite a bit. They have a lot of ice installed, and so for me, I need to start really thinking about getting as many credits as I can. But at the same time, I'm in a tough spot because I also need to draw up to find my breakers to be able to break this ice. So this is a good opportunity for them to start jamming agendas. So for me, I'm going to just force them to res some ice because I want them to be poor. So that one's a great one for them to res with only 10 credits. That forces them to it makes it more difficult for them to score this agenda. So if it is a private security force, which I think it is, or an atlas, then it's going to be difficult for them to deal with. So now this is an opportunity for me to poke R&D because that ice is pretty expensive for them. And so I'm tinkering here. Because there's no way they're going to be able to res that any of their other ice unless and I have the money to break it, and it would make them too poor. Here I don't think they're jamming in another agenda. They might be, but it doesn't feel like it is. So this is a Caduceus, and I'm just going to deal with the traces. And since I'm already going through, and I don't want to give them money, I'm willing to pay the the cost, if you will, because I don't want them to be able to get any money. So that's my goal here, is to keep them as poor as possible. So the reason I didn't use my sure gambles here is sometimes your opponent thinks they have a window, and with that window, they think they can score. And so it's nice to be able to hold on to sure gambles so that you can kind of credit up really quickly. I'm still here in a position where I need to find some of my other breakers. So I'm aggressively drawing, and it's a little bit at the sacrifice of not clicking for credits. I think in this situation, I actually shouldn't have kept the indexing. I'm not going to need that many indexings. So my plan here is I want to fem this toll booth, and then I want to run in. So I'm going to use modded to fem it. And I'm hoping here that they don't have other pieces of ice, like an Enigma or anything like that, to keep me out. Because I don't really want them to be able to res like a Hadrian's Wall or anything like that for free. And when it's advanced twice, it's pretty likely that it's going to be an agenda, but it could be a Project Junebug, but I just don't think it is in this case, because I think my opponent was pretty confident that they were going to be able to score, and I wasn't going to have a Gordian Blade or anything like that to get in. And a fem is a good answer, because if any of these ice is Archer or a Sentry, I'm covering all my bases. So here's the Archer, which I'm just going to pay through. This does make me poor, so if they are on the punitive plan, that's unfortunate, but I think I'm able to use the crash space to protect myself, because they would have to punitive me 3 times to make this effective, which they don't have, which is great for me. I decided to use my all-nighter because I want to be able to draw, and I want to be able to get some money. So now I'm in a position where they cannot punitive me, because the next agenda I steal that can actually have any effect with punitive, like another priority or another Project Atlas, wins me the game. So the punitive plan is pretty much off the table for them. And that's where a good example where crash space is really good, because it forces them to have 3 copies of punitive in their hand to be able to kill me in that instance. I'm not sure why I'm holding on to all of these indexings. It seems like a misplay. I don't really need all of them. Now I'm just going to get my Gordian out. And just start pressuring. I want to index them or hit HQ is my plan. And hopefully with the indexing, I see an agenda that I can steal and win the game. So my opponent here has a pretty beast remote, but I think they realize that R&D is a weakness to them. And so I'm in the Mopus plan of just credit up as much as I can. So if they try and install an agenda into the remote, I can try and contest that. But my real game plan is to try and use indexing, or put in down the HQ interface and start hitting HQ, because oftentimes agendas start to linger there. So I'm pretty sure this is a priority construction, but I think what I really want to do is I actually just want to index them. One of the, I think, maybe mistakes that my opponent made was by installing all of this ice, it actually cost them a lot of money, and I'm not sure it was worth it. Because what this made them do is, now that I index them, and let's say I whiff on this indexing, they're not going to be able to res any of this ice. So I do see a project atlas, so that's going to be the game for me. It will cost me 7, was that 8, 9, 10, 11? So I should have the money to be able to get back in. Oh, it actually cost me 14. So I also had the bad pub, which helped out in that instance. I still would have been able to contest this remote, I believe, because I had an additional 16 credits with the bad pub, and I don't think my opponent would have been able to keep me out of that one. Well, this was a great match and an interesting one, and I think, as I've been playing CT, just the core only, I think Mopus is a really good plan, but at the same time, I think it is, I think it's a little slow and it feels slow. And sometimes I feel like I can't burst up my economy and find my pieces at the same time. And maybe that's just the nature of the way the Core 2.0 is supposed to be. I haven't actually had as much success with chaos theory as I would like. And in some future videos, I'll show you some of the challenges that I face and why they are challenges. Well, thanks so much for watching. And if you have any questions about the Core 2.0, I think this is a very common matchup, the chaos theory and the building a better world. People are believing that these are the two best matchups. So understanding how this one plays is really good. So thanks so much, and have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.